Welcome back to the State Champs Signing Day Special. I'm Ryan Terpstra, and it is that point in the show where I actually have to put a referee jersey on. Yes, guys, I am that corny. But it is the great debate between Michigan and Michigan State, where we get the big boys into the center of the ring and we talk about this year's recruiting classes representing Michigan. Sam Webb, our friend from Scout.com, and then also Rico Beard from Spartan Mag. And Rico, let's start talking about State just coming off of a college football playoff appearance.
Right.
How's the momentum been going in East Lansing?
I mean, the momentum is pretty good. They just got to decide who's going to be the starting quarterback between Tyler O'Connor and Damian Terry. Are they going to platoon it the way they did at the Ohio State game? But looking at Mark D'Antonio's past history with quarterbacks, I don't think there's that big of a thing. He's put Brian Hoyer in the league. He's put Kirk Cousins. He's about to put Connor Cook. So I think he'll pick the right guy, and they'll keep the party going.
Now, on the Michigan side of things, Sam finished with a big bowl win over Florida, and also Jim Harbaugh's first full class. What are you seeing so far this offseason?
Yeah, I think Michigan is riding some great momentum into the offseason. They have some uncertainty at quarterback, but you have the quarterback whisperer as your head football coach. So it almost really doesn't matter. A lot of people think it's going to be John O'Corn, but I think whoever they put back there at quarterback, Michigan expects to pick up right where they left off.
Well, let's talk about some guys already in the respective classes, the early enrollees. There's a lot on both sides. And for Michigan State, Rico, a guy right here from in the state of Michigan, Donnie Corley's the headliner who's already on campus.
Yeah, Donnie Corley committed at the Army All-American game, and I look for him to be playing immediately. May even see a little bit on both sides of the ball. I mean, if you saw the state championship game when King won, he got the game-winning touchdown. I mean, 59 receptions, 16 touchdowns, 1,400 yards, plus he had 90 tackles, 10 interceptions on defense. So Donnie is definitely going to see some action early, along with Cam Chambers, the other wide receiver who played in the Army All-American game.
We've seen a few guys make it to Ann Arbor that could be in the mix. Sam, who are some names for us to watch for?
Well, you certainly got to start with Kareem Walker, the five-star running back from DePaul Catholic in Wayne, New Jersey. Michigan was running back by committee last year. No one really solidified, no one really locked down that position. So as an early enrollee, getting a chance to go through spring ball is really going to help him. He's not a speed burner, really tough, physical back, a one cut and go guy, between the tackles guy. He can go the distance from 50 or 60.
All right, guys, this is the point in the segment where we get into a little bit of a debate because both schools have early enrollee quarterbacks, and Messiah DeWeaver was at one point a Michigan commit. Now he's in East Lansing. Rico, tell us why he is such a great get for Mark D'Antonio.
Well, Messiah DeWeaver, I guess, was ahead of the curve. He left before the scholarship got pulled. But he comes to Michigan State, and you're looking at a kid who over his career thrown for like 7,600 yards, 90 touchdowns, 49-9 career record. The beauty of Messiah is he's going to be able to sit. If you see Messiah DeWeaver his freshman year, some things went really wrong at East Lansing because the quarterback's ahead of him. They want to get him bigger. They want to get him stronger to be able to take the pounding of the Big Ten. So you'll probably see him maybe next year competing for that starting job or the backup job. But for this season, he is coming in early to learn the playbook, but I think they're going to try to stash him away and save him and break him out starting next season.
Now, Sam, Michigan didn't wait long to fill that quarterback spot. Give us the rundown on Brandon Peters' game and why they like him.
Yeah, well, I think Harbaugh was feeling a little charitable, so he kind of gave his cast off to Mark D'Antonio over there. And then he went and got the quarterback that he wanted, and that was Brandon Peters. A guy that, when you watch him, has that mobility that you want, but also the arm strength. And I think because Messiah DeWeaver is a good quarterback, I think when you compare the two, what Harbaugh saw that he liked more with Brandon Peters was the arm strength.
Now, Michigan State has done a good job, Rico, of getting guys in the state of Michigan to come in and play. In fact, one of our Mr. Football finalists, Tristan Jackson, is part of this class. Tell us a little bit about some of the guys from Michigan that Mark D'Antonio is recruiting.
Well, Mark D'Antonio has brought in four, I call them super wide receivers. I mean, four-star kids. Donnie Corley. Tristan Jackson is one from West Bloomfield. You also got Justin Lane and Cam Chambers. Probably of those four, 3 will see the field, 1 will sit. Now, unfortunately, Tristan and Justin Lane are going to be coming in the summertime, so we're going to see. But Tristan, he, in the end, may be the best of all the receivers. He played more of the quarterback in high school, but I think once he locks down and just becomes a wide receiver and really learns how to run routes and do all those things, he is going to be really good. He's a guy that I think is going to pay off major dividends come year 3, 4, and 5. Demetric Vance is a guy that from Cass Tech, he's going to play immediately. I don't see a red shirt on him. I think the biggest compliment I got is when the King coaches pulled me aside and said, you seen that number 8 over there? That's an NFL player. That's a pro player. He's got speed, but he could light somebody up coming across the middle. His tackling ability is right there. He is a strong safety in the making. I really like everything about him. Brandon Randall was a guy that D'Antonio found, and everybody was like, who is this guy that just committed? And then his stock blew up. He played in the Army All-American game. Linebacker. He looks to be ready, but I think the linebacking core at Michigan State is so deep that they can kind of put him off to the side. You know, Tyreek Thompson came in last year. He couldn't even crack the lineup. Now I think Tyreek will be in the top 2. Brandon Randall will come. He'll get a shot, but I think he'll probably end up redshirting. But, man, this kid is already built like an NFL linebacker.
Now, Sam, not as many Michigan prospects in Jim Harbaugh's class, though they did tap the Cass Tech pipeline, and they're also looking at some other guys. So give us the breakdown there. Well,
Big Mike Onwenu here from Cass Tech. You're talking about a guy that's 6'3", 367 pounds. I call him a phone booth guy because 2 can go in, 1's coming out, and it's Mike Onwenu. He is a pile-driving big offensive guard, but he has mobility, and that's the thing that you look at when you see him. He's not a sloppy guy. He's not a stick in the mud. He can bend at the waist. Just the guy that plays with great leverage, power, and speed. But for alignment. And then when you look at other impact guys, though, because he is a guy that could potentially, you don't see this much with offensive linemen, but could potentially see the field.
A couple of guys Michigan's still looking at in-state. I know Lavert Hill, also Quinn Nordine, the kicker out of Rockford. They're still pursuing these guys, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Vert Hill is an interesting one. His brother Delano is a guy that's going to start for Michigan and started for much of the season last year. And you know, I think those family ties are really tugging at him. I think Michigan's feeling pretty good about that one at the end of the day.
Don't forget his best friend just happened to be playing the early enrollment at Michigan State.
I hear that, but blood is thicker than water.
Just won a state title together.
But blood is thicker than water. And then so you move on with Quinn Nordine. Quinn Nordine, you have a guy who is the #1 kicker in the country. You know, he had the whole sleepover with Harbaugh thing. I think that was enough to lock it down.
Well, and it wouldn't be a Michigan State segment without a little bit of trash talk. I'm sure Rico has some opinions on Jim Harbaugh's adventures on Instagram and sleepovers, but we are graced once again. Paul made it to the show again this year, Rico.
He did. He pays property taxes in East Lansing.
The grace of God,
Sam,
made that happen.
I'll let you see it.
It's the luckiest occurrence ever.
I'm going to take it back from you in 10 seconds, so go ahead. For the final 10 seconds.
Hey, you know, enjoy it, because it took an act of God to get it done.
Or how about
I told you in Jimmy's first year, you better get him in his first year. You weren't gonna get him.
Harbaugh is taking recruiting to a whole nother level. In all seriousness, like the satellite camps, I actually thought were a brilliant idea. You know, go out there and search the country, kick the tires, do what you got to do. The sleepover things, a little creepy. Climbing trees, probably wouldn't do it. But hey, if it works for him, if Michigan has become that desperate that they got to resort to gimmicks, then do your gimmick.
Hey man, you don't contrive things like taking off your shirt and climbing trees when you're 50 years old. That's just natural, sort of being out there a little bit.
Ask yourself.
But see, here's the thing: everything that Jim Harbaugh touches turns to gold. And so you see how the season ended for Michigan with a blowout of Florida. That's momentum into the next season.
Did anybody watch that game?
Yeah.
You know what? I guess I'm a little bit of a snob.
I
only watch Power 6 games and higher.
You should.
There's
no evidence that Michigan State was even in the game.
Did that game against Alabama?
Really? Yeah. Did that even happen?
Semi-final.
What proof is there?
There were
80 teams in the country played in bowl games. 79 of them scored.
And you know what?
You know who didn't?
80 teams.
You know who didn't?
Michigan State. But you know what, Sam? 80 teams played in bowl games. 4 made it to the Final Four.
So
you know who did? You know who did?
So getting there is good enough for Michigan State, is what you're saying.
They were there. Michigan know that the Big Ten championship game is in Indianapolis.
Yeah, they absolutely they know. That's a dubious distinction.
I'm so tired.
That's a dubious distinction. I'm just saying. One's a Rolls Royce, one's the price of 300.
Now, I need a prediction from each side in terms of what you think from this class, whether it's where Michigan or Michigan State did especially well, what you're looking forward to coming up for 2016. Rico, we'll begin with you.
The wide receivers. I think Michigan State, in losing so many receivers, that's who I'm looking at, Donnie Corley specifically, to step in there and be an impact guy.
All right, Sam, what are you thinking on Michigan's side?
I think for Michigan, the big key, getting some receiver help, because you are going to have a couple of receivers graduating after this year. I think they really wanted some more on-field dynamism. They're accomplishing that with this recruiting class. And then, obviously, the biggest fish in the pond. That guy is a super key guy. I can't think of a consensus number one recruit in the country that has been landed by a Big Ten team. Maybe they landed the number one player by one service or another, but Rashawn Gary is a game changer. That is a big deal at the end of the day. And then, like I said, the linebacker position, recruiting that, Michigan, I think, fortified that position in this recruiting class.
I thought that went well. We'll come back after this commercial break with more from the State Champs Signing Day Special.
No, you are. No, you are. You're handsome. Whoa. Oh, when I found out that every person who tries Hungry Howie's fast and easy online ordering gets free pizza, I decided to clone myself. Awesome.
Yeah, unlike when you tried to ask how to read a pea horn.
Hey, it's not my fault she didn't like my jorts. I can't even stand working with one of you. Any word from pea horn? Jorts.
Big game calls for a big deal. Try fast and easy online ordering and get a free medium pizza with your first online order. Now that's an idea.
Hungry Howie's.
We want you. We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students with a passion for hard work and good times, students who will move right in and shoot for the best that Lawrence Tech Southfield campus has to offer. So if you believe that everything is possible and that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
Are you considered a top male or female athlete in your sport? Listen up! The Detroit Athletic Club is celebrating 20 years of awarding thousands of dollars in college scholarship money.
Founded on athletics, but not only athletics, but also to the citizenship part of the commitment. And so it's all about bringing that together.
12 male and female student athletes will win their share of $15,000. Go to nsa.thedac.com. Application deadline extended to February 12th. Welcome back to the 4th annual State Champs Signing Day Special. We've got more commitments ahead on the show, but right now, Alan True, Scott Bernstein, Tom Marakowski back on the stage to talk about who's next. The top juniors for the class of 2016, presented by Hungry Howie's. The list on your screen has who we believe will be the most talked about guys next season. So let's get into it, shall we? And let's start with Tom on the other end. Tom, who are a couple of guys who stand out in your eyes?
Well, last year I had Donnie Corley as my number one coming into the season. I believe Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Detroit Cass Tech, another receiver, is going to be my number one player next year. This guy is really your big-time receiver. I mean, he's like a Randy Moss out there. He can fly down the field. He can run any type of routes. I love his bubble screens, great hands. He's also a fine kick returner. I really see him as the best receiver in the Midwest, one of the best in the country. Thomas Wilcher, the coach at Cass, I said, Thomas, who have you had better than Donovan Peoples-Jones? I think I had him stumped on that one.
All right, who else you got?
Well, I got KJ Hamler out of Orchard Lake St. Mary's, another receiver, but completely different from Donovan Peoples-Jones, a smaller receiver, about 5'9", 160. What I like about KJ, he puts that first move on that defensive back, and he's gone. I mean, that defensive back is within 4 or 5 feet of him. And plus, he does a lot of things for St. Mary's. He's a defensive back, kick returner, punt returner. He's that slot receiver that colleges are just going to love in the following season.
I agree. He is very explosive. Let's move over to Scott Bernstein. This is a very talented class.
Yeah, the junior class, or the class of 2017, is just loaded with blue chips. Let's start with me. You've heard of the rapper Rick the Boss Ross. Well, over at Orchard Lake St. Mary's in the state of Michigan, we got Josh the Boss Ross, the best middle linebacker in the state. He is a menace sideline to sideline. He's got a football IQ that's off the charts, and it's like he's got a homing device somewhere in his helmet where he just knows where the ball is. I've never seen, or I've seen very few linebackers that can get to the ball like he does. He collects double-digit tackle outings like most people get up and grab a cup of coffee in the morning. That's how routine it is. He is just going to be, 150 tackles is just a regular season for him. Whoever gets him at the next level is going to be very happy, and he's got a slew of suitors.
Absolutely. His brother was great, and Josh might be better.
His brother was great. His brother won one state title, has gone on to Michigan, could be drafted this year, but I hate to say that I love James Ross. Josh Ross has had a better high school career.
Who else you want to talk about?
I also want to talk about Ambry Thomas, the compliment to Donnie Corley at Detroit King this year. He had a breakout season, and I fell in love with him from the first time I saw him in the off season. He's got wheels. He's got very soft hands. I think he's the best slot receiver in the state right now, head-to-head with KJ Hamler. And just like KJ, he can play defensive back, he can return kicks. Very versatile talent. He's got over a dozen high major offers. A lot of the schools from down south are already coming up to take a look at him. So he's kind of like Tom said, he's different than Donnie Corley, but just as dangerous. He's going to be a gem next year, and then obviously at the college level as well.
He made some massive plays for King this year. There's no question about it. You go now to Allen.
Underneath, there's few better.
That's right. Talk about a couple other guys on this list.
Well, Antoine Simmons, no relation to Russell Simmons. I can't let Scott outdo me on the hip-hop reference,
right.
But nobody has more offers than him in the state of Michigan right now. He's approaching 40, and that's because he could play running back or linebacker at an extremely high level. I think he's a power 5 guy on either side of the ball. A big physical running back, but also a fast, explosive linebacker, can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. What I like about him, extremely hardworking kid. This is a kid that stays up late watching film. He's always in the weight room. He's always out working out, and I think that's going to carry him to great success at the college level.
Who else?
Corey Malone Hatcher is a kid who I think there's some interest on that list because unlike some of these other guys, he didn't get to play a full junior season. He got injured, actually was injured as a sophomore as well. So there was a lot of questions about why is this guy getting recruited so much? Well, I can tell you he was outstanding at several college camps last summer. Michigan, Notre Dame, Ohio State, all of those schools offered him after having him at camp. He's one of those rare edge rushers who can also drop into coverage. You see some of the athleticism of what he does at tight end as well. And I think in today's college football, in today's football period, you need guys that can get to the quarterback. Corey has that skill.
He does. All right, I want to thank you guys for being here today. This has been a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting where these guys end up. Thanks again. All right, the Prep Kickoff Classic kicks off the high school football season in a great way. Some of the top teams in the state, some of the top players in the state putting their talents on full display. Tom Markowski will talk about it with me when the State Champs Signing Day continues.
SNEFCamp is Metro Detroit's original Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer, and we're still making the best deals every day. During the auto show sales event, lease a Chrysler Town & Country Limited for only $199 a month for 24 months, or a Jeep Cherokee for just $179. Celebrating 25 years of giving customers a superior buying experience. That's SNEFCamp on Telegraph Road in Redford.
SNEFCamp, Metro Detroit's original. SNEFCamp.
At Lawrence Technological University, you'll go way beyond the books. Professors with real-world experience deliver hands-on instruction in small classes, helping students land co-ops, internships, and research projects. By graduation, 80% of LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
Your home for high school sports is Michigan's original high school sports show, State Champs. For over a decade, the multiple Emmy Award-winning State Champs covers all sports statewide, 40 weeks a year. Catch State Champs Sundays at 9 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit and StateChampsNetwork.com.
Remember the kid who always jumped first? The one who taught you to follow your heart. We seek those relentlessly committed to the lives and well-being of our brothers and sisters. The belief that a better life for everyone is our calling. We celebrate the kids who jump first. Because before equity of care was news, we were making it happen. We've been building it for 100 years. The world is finally catching up.
You are watching our annual State Champs Signing Day special, and it's never too soon to start thinking about the next football season. Now, if you caught our segment before, we talked about the top juniors from 2015, and invariably, several will most likely kick off the 2016 season by joining their respective teams at the annual Prep Kickoff Classic at Wayne State's Tom Adams Field, August 25th through the 27th. The matchups are coming in February, but Tom Markowski joins me now to talk about the PKC, and I got to tell you, the move from Eastern Michigan to Wayne State a few years back was genius on the part of the Detroit Sports Commission.
No question. I've caught them all. I made that drive to Ypsilanti when they held it at Rynearson Stadium. You know, that was a really good event, but it became a great event in downtown Detroit. And we've talked about this before, and I think it was just a shot in the arm, not only for the PKC, but really for football throughout the state, because you've got some of the best matchups that were coming to downtown.
And it really was, and it really felt like a full place, you know, where Eastern is so cavernous, you know, it never felt like it could quite get full enough. So what are some of the most memorable games in your mind from the Prep Kickoff Classic?
Well, let's go back to Eastern. Let's go back to Inkster playing Pioneer in 2009. Devin Gardner's senior year. They lost to Pioneer that day, 35-32, but Devin Gardner was just outstanding, throwing the ball all over the field. But later that year, despite that loss, they went to Steubenville, beat Steubenville, and then they went to the state championship game, lost to Lowell. That was kind of a memorable game. Pioneer was a good football team, and you know, one of those outstanding games.
Yeah, what else?
You know, in 2012, you had the incident. The incident between Brother Rice and Cass Tech. There was a disturbance that took place on the field. Both these teams were ranked in the top 5. Final score was Cass Tech 25-18, but overshadowing that, unfortunately, was there was a disturbance that took place outside the stadium and really had people on edge. Also of note, Cass Tech went on to win the Division I championship that year. Brother Rice went on to win the Division II state champ.
All right, quickly, it's a show based around the subject of recruiting, so we always see a lot of scouts at the PKC every year because it really is a great venue to see some of the top recruits play some really meaningful games. What are some past performances that stick out to you?
Well, I think the matchup of Mike Weber against John Kelly, Oak Park and Cass Tech in 2014. Kelly owned the first 3 quarters. Weber went nuts in the fourth quarter. Cass Tech came out on top 27-26. I thought that was just the 2 top running backs in the state going at it.
It was great. We could talk for a long time. We look forward to hearing just who will compete at the 2016 version of the Detroit Sports Commission's Prep Kickoff Classic. We'll be making that announcement in February right here on State Champs. So you have that to look forward to. We wrap up the 4th annual State Champs Signing Day special with another pair of commitments choosing where they will play their college football. It is all very exciting, and that is next, so stay with us.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for 1 medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
Get ready. The high school football season will be here before you know it. The Detroit Sports Commission Prep Kickoff Classic returns to Midtown Detroit and the campus of Wayne State University August 25th through the 27th. Michigan's premier season-opening prep football event, now in its 12th year, will welcome 7 games over 3 days and feature the state's top teams and players. Matchups and ticket information are coming soon. Log on to DetroitSports.org for more information.
Sarah Chevrolet in Southfield has been going strong for 5 years now. And as you can see, he'll do pretty much anything to get people's attention.
But what we do best this month is give out Auto Show bonus cash. Lisa Cruise for $69 a month with 0 down, or Equinox for just $119.
What's all this for? For the next commercial. Oh, man. Cold, 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 cold.
Welcome back to the State Champs Signing Day special. Now, we've had several guys already commit on this show, and we've got one more for you. This guy played for Walled Lake Western. It was truly a great season for the Warriors that began with an incredible win over Lowell to open the 2015 season, saw his team get all the way to the state semifinals, and although Lowell may have beaten Walled Lake Western, still got a bad taste for that. On that snowy state semifinal Saturday, it does not take away from a great season and a great high school career for Kyle Thomas, the quarterback. So thank you so much for being here. All right. So this is an exciting day, exciting time. We have the Western helmet here. Let's find out where you are going to play your college football.
You know, it's been hard for me to decide, and finally made the decision to go to the University of Findlay.
Heading to Ohio. All right, well, congrats to you. It's an awesome day when you get to make this decision, and I think that you are going to have a tremendous career there. Talk about the decision process. What has this recruiting process been like for you?
It was slow, and I had to be patient. I knew I just trusted in God to get me to where I needed to be, and they finally came, and I'm happy with my decision.
All right, well, you've been a Mr. Football candidate for us all season long. We certainly have appreciated, your career. Talk about now what you think they have plans for you at the next level. They have you, hopefully, a quarterback, right?
Yes, quarterback for sure.
All right, so what do you know about competition in the GLIAC?
It's going to be, I'm going to have to prove myself for sure. Work hard every day, and hopefully things will work out.
Yep, you know they're going to work out. And in fact, if you watched this signing day special a year ago, you know that DJ Zazula made his commitment right here on this show, chose Wayne State, and I can't let you go without your thoughts on what you will remember the most of your time at Walled Lake Western High School, because the tradition there is unbelievable.
It would definitely be my senior season of football, going undefeated in the regular season, and then making it to the semifinals and losing in a snowy football game.
All right, well, Kyle, thanks for being here today, and we wish you only the best as you live the dream of playing college football. Only wish I could have, but hey, we hope you've enjoyed our 4th annual Signing Day special. If you missed any of this program, the show will re-air tonight at 11 p.m. and also on Signing Day, Wednesday, February 3rd at noon. If you have Comcast all week long on Channel 900, check the guide for details. Michigan's premier high school sports show, State Champs, airs every Sunday at 9 a.m. covering every sport all year long. I want to thank everyone who was part of this show, making it a success. I want to thank our president, Lou Batanti, for being the engine that drives all of our Yellow Flag and State Champs productions. I'm Lauren Plant. Good luck to all of our recruits representing all of our great Michigan high schools. And for anything and everything State Champs, log on to statechampsnetwork.com. Thanks for watching. State Champs Signing Day Special is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Also brought to you in part by Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughraiser.com for details. And the Detroit Sports Commission, where champions are made and championships are played.